Hi everyone, it's Laura. Today I'm doing a tutorial on how to make my flower bow fancy beads that look like this, and you can add them to a beadable pen like I've done here. They're really pretty and they're really easy to make. So what you're going to need is your main ribbon, which works best if you have wired ribbon. This ribbon is not wired, but it does have like a fishing line type thread through the edges, which is going to help the bow to hold its shape. And then you're going to need a couple of little pieces of ribbon that will act kind of as like your little extra accent pieces. So I have 3 here. And then you're going to need your embellishment for the center. So I'm using flowers. But any flatback, acrylic, resin, clay, whatever you want to use, embellishment would work. You need a flatback bead that we're going to mount all of this onto. These are available for sale on my website. I'll link it in the description below. And then we're also using a piece of jelly tape with clear rhinestones. And you're also going to need a glue gun. So to start, we're going to just make a simple bow using our main ribbon. And I'm just going to fold it over my fingers as if I'm just going to tie a regular knot. And I'm going to take these 2 loops and cross them across one another, just as if I was making a regular knot. And then you're just going to pull and twist and tighten until you get the shape of the bow that you want. I've done mine kind of lopsided here. Let's see if I can fix that. Yes. There we go. Okay. So, like I said, we're just going to tighten and pull until we get the shape of the bow that we want. Tighten and pull. And that looks, I'm happy with that. So the next thing we're going to do is take one of our accent pieces of ribbon. I'm going to use this dark green one, and you're basically just going to lay it over the top between your 2 loops of your bow and just tie a loose knot, regular loose knot, at the bottom of your bow. Not too tight, because you want your strings to hang nicely, the ends of your ribbon. But not loose enough that it would fall off, but we're gonna glue it anyway, so it shouldn't be an issue. And then I'm gonna use this lace ribbon, and again I'm just gonna put it around the top of my bow and tie a regular knot. And let my strings hang down, so it should be like this. And then I'm going to do my last piece. I'm just going to lay it over again, tie one more regular knot, just loosely. And it should look something like that. So then, for the next step, I'm going to glue my flower, or whatever shape it is that you might be using. Using my glue gun, I'm going to attach that to my bow, just like that. And it's going to look like this, minus the glue strings. And I'm just gonna let that sit for a second and dry. while I work on putting the jelly tape on the flatback bead. So the jelly tape, all you have to do is remove the clear back layer. This tape is extremely flexible and very stretchy, so it's really easy to use. And basically you just want to stick it on the back of your bead here and wrap it around. And then you don't even have to cut it, you can just rip it and it comes off. So that, and then I'm just going to use a little bit more to cover the bottom part of my bead, and I'm just actually going to rip little pieces off to fill in the holes that I want. Just like that. So that will be the back of my bead. So next, what we're going to do is just glue this on to the back of our bow. So we're going to add glue to the back of the bow, opposite side of the flower, and we are going to press that in and let it dry. You want to make sure that your bead is straight with your bow. So once it's completely dry, it's gonna look like this, and the back will look like this, and you can bead it onto whatever you're working on. If you want, also, it's highly recommended that you trim any of these little biddies that are coming out of the end of your ribbon, and then also you can use a lighter to just lightly singe the edges of your ribbon so that it doesn't fray on you. So I'm just going to do that quick. And then if you want to have your ribbons the same length or clean up the ends of the smaller ones, you can certainly do that too. And then the final product looks like this. Thanks so much for watching.